number 3. All right, this would be a calculator problem. So I'm supposed to solve 5x squared plus 100 equals 0, and it doesn't tell you what method to use. This is actually the square root property. Okay, if I have 5x squared plus 100, the first thing I'm going to do is we want to isolate our x squared. Okay, there's actually lots of ways we can do this. Here's what I would do. I would subtract 100 first. So now I have 5x squared equals negative 100. Divide by 5. X squared equals negative 20. And then how would I solve this? Take the square root of both sides. So x equals plus or minus, I know it's going to be an I because I have a negative underneath the radical. And when I break down 20, 20 is 4 times 5. 4 is 2 times 2 times 5. So I'm bringing out a 2 and my 5 stays. 2i, and I have to have the I because of the negative underneath the radical, square root of 5. So my answer would be C. All right, number 4. All right, numbers 4 and 5, these were the ones that when you guys took a quiz, a lot of you missed them, but these are actually some of the easier problems on there. Write a quadratic equation with the given roots, and write the equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are integers. That means we can't have any fractions in our answers. So these are our answers, so we have to come up with the equation. The first thing you're going to do, y equals, because my answer is an equation. Now I'm going to write the factors that I had to have in order to get negative 6 and 2 as my answers. Well, this would be x, would it be plus 6 or minus 6 here? Plus 6. Because when I set that equal to 0 and solve, I get negative 6 as my answer. And then this would be x minus 2. That's the first step, and now the next step would just be to FOIL that out. So y equals x times x, x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x, 6 times x plus 6x, 6 times negative 2, negative 12. Y equals, now I'm just combining my like terms, x squared plus 4x minus 12. Okay, and that's my answer for the first one. On number 5, I would do the exact same thing. Okay, y equals x minus 2/3 and x plus 4. FOIL it out. X times x, x squared. X times 4, 4x. Negative 2/3 times x is minus 2/3 x. Negative 2/3 times 4. What is negative 2/3 times 4? 2/3 times 4. You multiply straight across. That's going to be minus 8/3. Okay, now here's the deal. They don't want any fractions in my answer. So what can I multiply by? 3. I'm going to multiply all of these by 3. Okay, now here's the deal. Usually, we would wait to write this y equals, so I'm not going to multiply my y by 3. Do you see that? I'm just multiplying this part by 3. Y equals 3x squared plus 12x minus what? What's going to be right here? My 3's will cancel. Or I have 2 times 3, which is 6/3. That's just going to leave me with my 2x. Yes, I can. And then I have minus 8. Y equals 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. All right, are we good? Okay, next. Do you have that, Mohammed? All right, number 6. Simplify. So here's when we start simplifying all these radicals. First of all, I know I'm going to have an I in my answer. I'm going to go ahead and write it as I squared root of 80. Now I'm going to break down 80. I think 80 as being 8 times 10. 8 is 4 times 2. 10 is 2 times 5. And I'm going to break down my 4. 2 times 2. And I'm going to bring down my other numbers. Okay, good. Have a group of 2's, another group of 2's. 2 times 2, that's what I'm bringing out. 4i, and I had a 5 left, so 4i squared of 5. On number 7, okay, we have to simplify these first. So I'm going to automatically bring out. Will 6 break down at all? Nope, so that's going to stay. Times, when I break down 12, 12 is 4 times 3, and then 2 times 2 times 3. So I'm bringing out a 2, and a 3 is going to stay. So this is going to be I times 2 square root of 3. Or usually I'd write my 2 first, so 2i square root of 3. And now I'm going to multiply what's on the outside together. So I times I is I squared, and I have this 2. So I have 2i squared. And then 6 times 3 is 18, or I'm just going to write down 6 times 3. Because after we multiply these together, we're going to have to break them down again. Okay? So 6 times 3 is 2 times 3 times 3. So now what can I bring out again? A 3. Okay, if I bring out a 3 and there's already a 2 there, what do we do with those? Multiply them. So now I have 6i squared. And what's underneath the radical? 2. And then the only thing left to do this, can we ever leave an I squared in our answer? Nope. My I squared changes to a negative 1. So my answer is negative 6 square root of 2. Okay, I squared is always equal to negative 1. So we never leave I squared in our answers. We always change it to a negative 1. I think you were gone that day. All right, number 8. Number 8 we like because this is a subtraction problem. Now here's the deal. Some students get confused when these parentheses are used and they start multiplying it out. Okay, this isn't a multiplication problem, it's just subtraction. So it actually means 6 minus 9i minus 17 minus a negative, so that's plus 12i. So now I'm just combining like terms. 6 minus 17, negative 11, plus, what is that, 3i? That's wrong? Yeah, but look, negative times negative, I'm distributing that negative. So minus 17 minus a negative 12i, so minus a negative is plus 12i. Probably. All right, number 9. This is a multiplication problem, so I'm going to FOIL this stuff out. 7 times 8, 56. 7 times 4i is 28i. Negative 3i times 8 is minus 24i. And negative 3i times positive 4i is negative 12i squared. Right, so this right here is a negative 1. So I really have 56. When I combine my middle terms, I get plus 4i plus 12, because this right here is negative 1. And then combining my like terms, 68 plus 4i. Okay, and the last one on this page, number 9. 2 plus I over 3 minus I. What's wrong with this problem? There's an I in the bottom, and the rules are we can't have an I in the bottom. So that means I have to multiply this by, not just I, what we call it, the conjugate. So it's going to be 3 plus I over 3 plus I. Okay, and when we do that, we're FOILing everything out. So on the top, 2 times 3, 6. 2 times I is 2i. I times 3, 3i. And I times I squared. And now we're going to do the same thing on bottom. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times I, 3i. Negative I times 3 minus 3i. Negative I times I is negative I squared. So on the top, 6 plus 5i, and then what's that I squared going to change to? Negative 1. Right here, my 3 i's cancel, and I get 9 minus a negative 1, so that's going to be plus 1. So I have 5 plus 5i on top over 10. And then we can simplify that. 5 over 10 is 1/2, plus 5i over 10 is 1i over 2. Because I had a positive 3i and a negative 3i, so those canceled. And then this is a negative 1. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, if you want to write it as this, 1 plus I over 2, same thing. I usually separate it.